Hello and welcome. My name is Elizabeth, and today we are going to be taking a deep dive into the Seven of Swords, one of my favorite cards in the deck. So we're going to be looking at the symbolism. We're going to look at the color. We're going to look at the elements. We're going to look at the numerology, the astrology, the Kabbalah, tarot timing. We are going to take a really deep dive look at this card from the bottom up. So if you really want to understand each card in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, stick with me. This is the Seven of Swords. We're going to go all the way through to the King of Pentacles, and I'm doing a separate video for every single card so we can take a deep dive and really give each card justice. So I'm going to spin the camera around and let's take a deeper look at the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords. Golden Dawn title, and we're doing all Golden Dawn symbolism, is the Lord of Unstable Effort. This is a card about confidence and ability. In this case, your stealthiness, your ability to sneak into the enemy camp and steal what you need and go. And you can see here, he's looking back because there's two more swords and he's thinking, maybe I can be so confident that I can go back and pick up what I left behind. I wouldn't advise it. Generally, if you get away with something once, it's a bit of a mistake to go back because you will get caught. But this is an example of sneaking and getting away with it. So if we look at the other cards that are number 7, we're looking at confidence and ability. You are on the high ground. Life might be difficult, but you're winning. You have the confidence to make a wise choice. You might be confused at the moment, but you're going to be able to work through it and make a wise choice. Look at what you've achieved, and you are sitting back and you are contemplating what you've achieved and thinking about whether you're going to continue to do more. Each card gives a different perspective on confidence and ability. Of course, Chariot, the 7th major arcana card, is about standing in that chariot and going off out into the world and, letting the world take you wherever it's going to take you and having that confidence that you know that you're going to be fine. The Tower is a very different take. 1 + 6 is 7. And this is a card about your confidence and ability being completely shaken to your very core as you and the baby in the bathwater are thrown out of the tower. Every single one of these cards has a video that explains it in detail. So I will put a link to all of them as I create them down into the description box so that you can click on them and go and view them if you would like to get an entirety of the picture of 7. So if we look at the Kabbalah of this card, which is the Tree of Life, and I've got a course coming that I've written that'll be the same format as all my other courses, so it'll be free. And then if you want to buy the book that goes with the course, which helps to support my work, but also gives you greater detail in what I'm talking about, then you can purchase the book as well. And that course is coming. It is super, super close. And it will be called Tarot for Beginners. And it's going to be a little bit different to other courses you might do on tarot for beginners, because I'm not just going to be focusing on the structure of the tarot deck. I will talk about that, but I do a lot of work on that anyway, as a day-to-day thing. I'm going to be orientating you to the tarot. I'm going to be trying to talk about the things that were missing when I was trying to learn the tarot, that I feel really held me back in understanding just what the tarot's about and what the decks are about. So I'm really looking forward to doing this course. I think it's going to be amazing, and I do hope you will join me for that. If you want to make sure you don't miss out, click like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell. It really helps my channel out, and it'll make sure that when I announce new things that you don't miss out. And of course, join my newsletter to make sure that you get all of my newsletter updates as well. So, Tree of Life, just briefly. Netzach, which is victory. You can see it here. Netzach is the seraphot or the orb on the Tree of Life that is emanating energy, and it's emanating enduring strength, patience, endurance to see the challenge through to completion. And the patience to follow through on your passion. So as we look at the cards, there's different expressions of that. And in this particular case, I'm just not sure about this card. It's a sneaky card. On the one hand, you could say, well, how clever are you? You went into the enemy's camp and you took what you needed to take and you've got away. That's really clever. Or you could say you've stolen it. And that's probably not so clever. So it's an interesting card. Again, classical element of air, which is intelligence, creativity, beginnings. It's mental energy. It's about thinking on your feet. It's about communication. It's the words we speak, and more to do with the intellectual aspects of the way we live our lives. Timing, the traditional timing for the swords is always autumn. If you are looking at it from just a whole suit perspective, which makes it easy if you're reading on the fly. If you want to read timing and look, I love looking at tarot timing, but actually in a reading, I'm yet to kind of really be happy with a system that makes it work. But look, if you found that it really works for you, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know, particularly for a written reading where you've got time to think about it. I think might actually be really helpful to have the timing. So the Golden Dawn timing is unclear. It is February 9th to Feb 18. And if we look on the wheel, we are here in the third decan of Aquarius, here. And we are working our way around the wheel again as we look at each one of these cards. So our traditional meaning, if we look at the keywords I've got here, are dishonesty, betrayal and stealth. And the reverse meaning, revelations, freedom, and being caught out. Moon in Aquarius. So the moon encourages us to listen to our intuition and be in tune with the ebb and flow of energy in the world. The alignment with Aquarius, which can tend to be analytical and scientific, can cause a disruption of thought patterns that can express themselves in impulsivity and instability. And that's clearly expressed in this card. You struggle to listen to your intuition because you need all the evidence. In the Seven of Swords, we act on instinct and impulsively struggle with the reflection that we need to maybe make the decision not to steal swords. If you want a sheet that gives you all of the dates, I'll just show you this very quickly. This is a summary of the astrological wheel with all the cards on, and it shows you all of the dates, which is very helpful for you if you are going to be using tarot timing, because remembering them all is pretty impossible. Looking at the card itself, let's have a look at some of the symbolism in this card. So we've got a figure here and he's running ahead and glancing back at the same time. I just love Pamela Coleman Smith's drawings. You just can see the movement in that figure, that he is sneaking. He's on his toes and he's looking back to make sure no one's following him. He's moving ahead and glancing back at the same time, and that can be interpreted as a sign of inner conflict. And you can ask the question, what are you sneaking around for? What are you stealing? Or who is stealing from you? The swords, he carries 5 swords, but he leaves 2 behind. So this is giving you the sense that you've grabbed what you're taking in haste and you've carelessly left something behind. And it's interesting, the 2 swords left behind perhaps are the doubts about what you've done, or in fact sitting there waiting for you to maybe repeat the behavior over again and experience the consequence. The tents represent the enemy camp. They're down here at the bottom of the card. And it also gives the impression that you're up against many people. So it's, you're one out, and maybe being one out is what's caused you to behave in this way. And this is sort of a card about really questioning, do you have to be dishonest to look after yourself? And how do you keep yourself safe in this situation? You've been dishonest. You've done something wrong. You've stolen, whether it was a Robin Hood steal and it was the right thing to do or not, you've stolen. So it can be important to be asking, what do you need to do to keep yourself safe in this situation? And again, when we talk about the cards, when I do the videos where I talk about the general meanings of the cards without the symbolism, and I go through different positions in common reading spreads and things like that, I'll talk about that then, because often it's good to have questions that come into your mind that you think, when I see that card, what can I ask the person that I'm reading for, or what can I ask myself? The red shoes and the red hat are pretty significant in this card, and they symbolize passionate thoughts and passionate action. So you're thinking and you're acting. And the blue legs represent, or the blue stockings on the legs represent your passion in the moment. And the yellow symbolism is this high conscious energy of impetuousness and passion. And it really makes me think of Icarus and going too close to the sun. Have you taken too bigger a risk in this card? Have you done too much, and are you going to get caught? Actually, it'd be interesting to look at my before and after tarot cards with this one. When I continue with that series, and I will be continuing with it, I've got a series called Tarot Reimagined, and I look at before, what do we look at? Before, after, Tarot of the New Vision, Vice Versa Tarot, and in between tarot, and I line them all up and we get a full picture of what's going on in the cards. So it'd be really interesting when I get to 7 of Swords to actually look at those cards and see what the authors of those decks' interpretation is of what happens next with this card. So I do hope you've really enjoyed watching my interpretation of the 7 of Swords. I've really enjoyed doing it. This is as I said, this is Prince Charming's favourite card, and I don't mind it either. It's got a lot of emotion in it, and it's a fun card to read, and certainly a card that is impacted by the other cards that's around it. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell. Don't forget to join my newsletter list. Connect with yourdeck.com/newsletter, and I will see you in the next video where we will be talking about the 8 of Swords. See you then. Bye-bye.